For this task, you need to look at 3 complaints that are common to your workplace. So this might be complaints you've experienced through your time in the workplace, or you can speak to your supervisor to get some examples. Once you've established these complaints, you need to complete the complaints register, where you're going to discuss the nature of the complaint and a proposed resolution. So between these 2 sections here, we're going to be expecting 50 words. So again, 3 complaints need to be listed. Nature of complaint, proposed resolution, date resolved, and authorized sign off. So for this one, you're going to put you can put your signature in there, your initials. By now you've been in the workplace long enough to have most likely seen complaints, so you should be fairly familiar with how your workplace deals with certain situations. And again, you might need to sit down with your supervisor as part of this task to talk about how they deal with various complaints that you mightn't have seen. Now, part B can relate to any one of those complaints, but it's an observation. So for one of those complaints, after a week of implementing the resolution, you receive an email from the client still unsatisfied that their complaint has been resolved. So you need to arrange a meeting with the client. Now, this is a simulated task, so the client is going to be your assessor, and you're going to meet with them to discuss the details and present a further action plan of how you're going to deal with the complaint. Now, being an observation, whilst you're undertaking this discussion, this meeting with the client who has the complaint, your assessor will be using an observation checklist. So if you have a look at the rubric at the bottom of the page here, your trainer or an assessor will be using this rubric to mark off your skills and knowledge as part of undertaking this task. So before you undertake this assessment with your trainer and assessor, make sure you have a look at this observation checklist and become familiar with the things they're going to be looking for. So your trainer will simulate somebody who is frustrated about not having their issue resolved. So after completing part B, you're going to need to fill in some more documentation for part C. So what we're going to put in here is the details of the person, the nature of the complaint, and then you need to register this on a communication log. So this is different to what you did before, but the initial complaint, so you're going to go back to the initial template. So for this section, you're going to use the information from the initial template, which is this one. So just say this is the complaint that the person's come back to you on because it's still not resolved. You're going to use some of this information here to populate the first line here, because that was the first time the issue or complaint was raised by the person. And then the second line, they've come back to you with a complaint saying it's not been resolved. So again, time and date, the contact type, comments, the outcome of the meeting, and again, you're going to sign it. So you're going to sign it here and there. So we'd expect 2 of these filled in. So to successfully complete this task, you need to have completed both of these templates here correctly, but also successfully undertake the simulation and have this observation checklist signed off by your assessor.